The third learning theory we're going to talk about is Constructivism. So far we have talked about behaviorism, which says learning is conditioning or stimulus response. And we've also talked about information processing theory, which involves the 3 stages of memory, and learning is when information gets to long-term memory. Now we're going to talk about the second cognitive learning theory, which is Constructivism. Constructivism says learning is knowledge construction, or people build their own knowledge. Constructivism is different than the first two because it doesn't involve a person giving information to someone else. It involves a person creating their own knowledge. There are 2 main theorists or people from Constructivism that you need to be familiar with. The first is Jean Piaget. You really just need to know his last name, Piaget. And Piaget said that children are natural scientists, that they learn through interactions with their environment. They develop a hypothesis, they test it out, they try new things. They're constantly experimenting within their environment. And Piaget said learning occurs because of this phenomenon, disequilibrium. Disequilibrium is the mental discomfort when new information does not fit in a person's pre-existing knowledge. It doesn't fit with what we already know. There are 2 ways to fix disequilibrium. The first way is assimilation, which is adding new information to what we already know, simply updating what we know. And the second way is accommodation, which is revising or modifying our knowledge or even creating new knowledge. So this is when we have to not just add to our file system, but recreate something or create something new so that the new information fits with what we should know. Piaget also developed part of his theory was about development and how it occurs in stages. It's not the same over a person's lifespan. There are distinct periods within a person's life where different abilities develop. So first is sensory motor, which is birth to 2 years. And this is where people learn through their senses and their motor development and motor movement. Next is pre-operational, which is ages 2 through 6 or 7. Next is concrete operations, which is 6 or 7 to 11 or 12. And finally, formal operations, 11 or 12 through adulthood. And those are the only 4 stages that happen during a lifespan. The second theorist or person associated with Constructivism is Lev Vygotsky. And he said that learning is social, that we learn from other people. We learn in the context of working with others. And learning is dependent on culture. What we learn and how we learn it is based on and embedded in one's culture. Vygotsky also had a theory of development, as opposed to Piaget, who said it happens in distinct stages. Vygotsky said development is organic. It just builds upon itself rather than being distinct stages. A major idea from Vygotsky's theory is the idea of the zone of proximal development. In this graphic, you can see where that zone occurs. So there are 3 layers within this graphic. In the very center is what I can do, or what the learner can do without any help. On the very outside is what the learner cannot do, even with help. So where we want to be, where we want our students to be, where learning occurs, is in that middle layer, or what they can do with help. That's the zone of proximal development. That's where real learning occurs. If we only do things that are at the very center, what the learner can do, they won't grow because they can already do those things. It's just practice for what they can already do. And if we do too much in the outer layer, it becomes frustrating because they can't do it. They're not going to learn. They'll get upset and give up. So we want to focus most of our teaching and learning on that zone of proximal development. So how do we work within that zone of proximal development? Well, one way is through scaffolding. The idea of providing support or that guidance, that aid that a student needs to successfully complete the task that's in the zone of proximal development. Here you can see the characteristics of a good scaffold. It provides support. It's used as a tool. It's at the disposal of the learner or the worker. It extends the range. It's used within that zone of proximal development. It allows the worker to accomplish a task not otherwise possible. Again, that zone of proximal development. And importantly, it's used selectively where needed. The scaffold, the help that you provide or the help that someone else provides, is only used selectively. It's not there all the time. It's only there when a student needs it, and only to the amount that the student needs. These characteristics of a scaffold, according to Vygotsky, are what is a good instructor. A good teacher does these things for the student. Doesn't tell them what they need to know, but guides them and provides support.